the RSS conference, and I know you were never a part of the RSS, you have a communist background, but you said that the party must make a concerted and principled attempt to reach out to Muslims. And the fear that this would displease your core voters, meaning Hindus, is misplaced. Do you not believe that this problem is still a huge problem with the Bharatiya Janata Party? The problem that you talked about on the 1st of July 2001 when you resigned, and the letter you wrote to Mr. Advani.
Paranjoy, it is not something that is contested by me or by anybody that the Bharatiya Janata Party's support base among the minorities, Muslims especially, is today limited, and it's a matter of concern for us. We are a Bharatiya Janata Party, which means a party that represents the people of India. And when we talk of people of India, there are not just Hindus, there are Muslims, there are Christians, there are others. We want to represent everybody. For historical reasons, our presence in the minority communities has been limited, and this is what I have been saying, and this is what many people in the party have been saying.
Yeah, you've had only two important Muslim leaders in the recent past, Mr. Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi and Mr. Shahnawaz Hussain. In the governments that Mr. Ahmed, you had one important Muslim minister.
Of course, we would very much like more and more Muslims to not just support us, but to be represented in our government.
Tell me.
This is a shortcoming of the BJP, which, no honest BJP person can deny. But what is our approach? Our approach is with sincere efforts to get the support of the minority
I'll give you one other example. The Bharatiya Janata Party stood for elections in Uttar Pradesh. It didn't put up even a single Muslim candidate.
You see,
why? I mean, here is a state which is one of India's largest states, where more than a fifth of the population, or roughly a fifth of the population, is Muslim.
I agree with you that our party would very much like to see more Muslims as candidates. But today, the fact is that we do not have much of a support in a community, but we are making sincere, concerted efforts to reach out to them. A day will certainly come when even Muslims will begin to see the BJP not through the propaganda of our adversaries, but based on our track record, our performance, our ideology. It is bound to happen. The BJP, there was a time it was considered just a North Indian party, and that too confined to some sections of society. But today it has expanded. It has won the support of more and more sections.
One second.
And I am sure, therefore, that in the years to come, we will win the support of even Muslims brethren.
All right. One other question, and I want a quick answer to you because I need to take one more break in the program. Mr. Advani described the Bharatiya Janata Party as a party with a difference. Your opponents say it's a party with differences. Mr. Bhairav Singh Shekhawat, who is chronologically the oldest important leader of your party, he's very upset with Mrs. Vasundhara Raje. Mr. Sudhanshu Mittal being appointed co-convener for Northeast is upset Mr. Arun Jaitley. There are no dearth of instances. I'm giving you only two recent instances how BJP has appeared to be a house divided. Even on the Varun Gandhi issue, Mr. Rajnath Singh speaks in one voice, Mr. Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi speaks in another voice. The BJP is, in what way is it a party with a difference? It's riven with factions and riven with differences which are constantly out in the open. You call it democratic dissent, is it?
We are, in fact, proud of the fact that we are a democratic party with a very high level of internal democracy. Sometimes that leads to public expression of dissent, which is unfortunate. There are many other parties where, democracy is driven out because one man rules, or one woman,
or one family you have,
or one family.
I knew you were going to say that.
Of course,
I'm putting words in your mouth.
My point is this: we would like to be a party with a difference. That is our goal.
But you're still not there.
We are not there. We are not there. When we say party with a difference, it means we would very much like to change the political environment, political culture of this country by creating an organization which is committed to the nation, which has good people, committed to clean politics and clean governance. We have perhaps succeeded to some extent. We would like to succeed more.
You have a fairly long way to go.
Of course, we have a long way to go.
Sudhindra, I'll take one last break in our conversation. This is the third and the final break. I have a few more questions.
Yeah, sure.
Including the famous statements that were made by Mr. Advani when he was in Pakistan, where you had accompanied him on that trip, his comments on Muhammad Ali Jinnah. I also would like to ask you a few personal questions.
Sure.
Why you changed your ideology from being a communist to what is often described as a Hindu nationalist, right-wing Hindu nationalist. So I'll get back to you on these questions. We'll be back with you in a short while from now. You are watching and listening to a close aid of the Bharatiya Janata Party's Prime Ministerial candidate L.K. Advani, Sudhindra Kulkarni. We'll continue our conversation in a very short while from now. Stay with us. Welcome back to the fourth and final segment of this discussion with Sudhindra Kulkarni. Sudhindra, you know, in May, June 2005, when you accompanied Mr. Advani to Pakistan, there were two references he made in the various speeches he made in Pakistan. One was when he recalled the words of Sarojini Naidu, and he said that in his early years, Muhammad Ali Jinnah was described as an ambassador of Hindu-Muslim unity. And the second reference was a speech he delivered at the Constituent Assembly of Pakistan in August 1947, where he talked about the important, you know, how the state should be secular and every citizen should have the freedom to follow and practice his or her own faith. Now, these statements are often said that you, as the speech writer of Mr. Advani, you sort of somehow prompted him or made him say that. That's a separate issue altogether. But the issue is, these statements by Mr. Advani created a huge furor in your own party. People were publicly saying, why, how can Mr. Advani be praising the founder of Pakistan in Pakistan? And that kind of, as you know, it created a huge political storm. Now, you are said to be the reason why this storm happened. So maybe you can explain whether this is true or not.
Paranjoy, I'm happy that you made a reference to one Sarojini Naidu's description of Muhammad Ali Jinnah in the earlier part of his political career, when she described him as an ambassador of Hindu-Muslim unity. I'm also happy that you referred to Muhammad Ali Jinnah's speech, historic speech in the Constituent Assembly of Pakistan on August 11, 1947. Anybody who reads that speech will applaud it, because that was the vision of a secular Pakistan, a Pakistan in which Hindus would be protected and as equal citizens. Now, no, unfortunately, we live in the era of soundbite journalism. As soon as Advaniji went to Jinnah's mausoleum, news channels here flashed, Advani calls Jinnah secular. He did nothing of the kind.
But all your own political party leaders, they believed the soundbite
there was a misunderstanding.
Providers.
There was a misunderstanding which over time has been completely cleared. And it is now recognized by more and more people that what was reported was not right and what was interpreted was also not right. Advaniji has not at all condoned the wrong deeds of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the principal architect of a very tragic episode in our history, the partition of India.
All right, one moment. Why did you resign then on the 1st of July 2005?
No.
And one moment, why did Mr. Advani ask you to resign?
No.
And you would deny that it was under pressure from the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, because you were never a part of the RSS. On the contrary, you had a background in the Communist Party of India, Marxist.
First of all, Advaniji did not ask me to resign. It was entirely my decision to resign. I resigned because it was at that time, it was felt that perhaps I played a role. I had not played any role, but I did not want to create any problems for my leader.
One moment, there was a Chintan Baitak in Bhopal and the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh leaders.
That was a different issue.
Your Bhopal, there was a letter which was published in the newspapers.
Yeah. You know, my point is